Hi, it's the Irish Gypsy here to give you your February 2016 mid-month reading. I continue to use the Gilded Tarot deck, drawing 8 cards for the month, 2 cards for each week with an additional card as your overall theme and general feeling of the month. I always say these are general readings, so if they don't apply or resonate the same for everyone who watches, I suggest you check your rising and your moon sign as well for further clarification. And a special thank you to those of you who keep me so busy with personal readings. It is an honor and a pleasure, a great one to read for you. Thank you for continuing to reach out to me for those. And thank you to those of you who continue to watch and listen and subscribe to my channel. Your feedback and your comments are so very appreciated, and I do look forward to seeing them and also the emails that you send as well. Thank you so much for following me. And if any of you are interested in a personal reading, you can click on the About button on my channel's homepage, and that will give you a little more detail and information on myself, the services I offer, and my contact information. And you can email me at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I am running a few different specials on love readings this month in honor of Valentine's Day. So if you're interested, again, just email me and we'll go from there. So let's get right into this. This reading is for Libra for February 2016, mid-month. Libra, February 2016, mid-month. What does the remainder of February hold, my Libran? Libra, February 2016, mid-month. You know, Libra, most of the signs I've done so far, I've had some very profound and significant things going on in the last half of February. So we'll see what the cards say for you. Okay, Libra, February 2016 month. So let's begin. We have the Five of Swords, accompanied by the Knight of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords, accompanied by Temperance in reverse, the Page of Pentacles, followed by the Tower, and the Four of Swords, followed by the Magician. And the card for your overall theme and general feeling of the month from the bottom of the deck is the Fool. Oh my goodness, 2 came out, and the Hermit. I've never had 2 cards came out for crowning cards. That's very interesting, and both of them major arcana. The Fool being one of my favorite. Okay, Libra, let's take a look. Okay. Wow. Okay, let's begin. We have the Five of Swords, accompanied by the Knight of Pentacles. I don't know what's going on astrologically, guys. I'm not an astrology person. I know the basics about it, and I keep up on, some of the moon signs and star positions, but I leave that up to the experts, and I'm nowhere near an expert. But it feels like something's going on just on the last half of February. It seems like everything is so dramatic or significant or profound, and you are no different, Libra. So let's begin. We have the Five of Swords. So swords is that element of air. So swords is a suit that points towards our thoughts, our ways of thinking, our ideas, our reasoning, our logic, our perspective. And the Four of Swords represents, it represents technically a victory of some kind, but a rather shallow one, and one that begs the question, was it really worth it? You can see in this card, this man has defeated or vanquished his foes. They are in the ground, in the grass on the ground behind him, obviously defeated. And he has gathered up all their swords and he is holding his own aloft in victory. But if you look closer, you can see that this battle has cost him quite a lot. He doesn't look particularly victorious. He looks tired. He looks exhausted. He's bleeding from a little cut on the forehead. This battle has actually cost him. And that's what really the Five of Swords really points to. It points to Libra somewhere around the middle of February, and this could be going on. I actually feel from just looking at the cards, I get the very strong feeling this is a situation that has been going on for some time, maybe even for some of you, quite a considerable length of time. It looks like you have won some kind of victory of some kind, and it's really cost you. I think that I actually, in a lot of reads, I would read this as temporarily winning a battle of some kind, but the fight continuing to go on and on and on. And this, again, may be an ongoing battle for some of you, but I actually feel like for the majority of you, represents a situation that has been going on for a considerably long period of time. And somewhere around the middle of February 2016, which is right around now, you reach a victory of some kind over this situation, or perhaps over a person in this situation, but it has really cost you a lot. I mean, this has been a battle that has been fought. I get kind of a real back and forth, long time kind of feeling to it. It feels kind of old, this battle, and it's really cost you a lot, and perhaps it's cost the people involved in it and around a lot as well. And this card begs the question, has it been worth it? Has all the fighting, the strife, the contention been worth it? This is not just, the Seven of Swords or the competitive sort of card. This is an actual battle. This has really hurt. It's hurt you, and perhaps it's hurt other people as well, and it's really cost quite a bit. And this is a card also of I actually get a very strong feeling of exhaustion off of this card too, just tired. It's almost like there was this one final battle that you're victorious, but it represents a whole long string of battles, some kind of perhaps one battle just continuing on and on and on over the same issue. And this Five of Swords is accompanied by the Knight of Pentacles. Now, Pentacles, the element is that of earth, and Pentacles is a suit that typically points to things in our earthly, tangible environment. Typically, it's things we can see and touch and feel. Um, and it most often manifests in the form of money, finances, resources, property, assets, things like that. But in love readings, it can just represent the same sort of um, emotion, the emotional side of the same aspects, just applied towards whatever the situation is. But it most often points to something tangible. And the Knight of Pentacles is, out of all fourth knights, he's the most, I always look at him as the slowest, not in terms of intelligence, but just, the Knight of Pentacles is like his element, the earth sign. It can be very solid, very reliable, very step by step. The kind of guy who, you don't always necessarily know when he's there, because he's just always there and very steady and very reliable. But you know when he leaves because of the amount of work that he's actually done and the amount of work that nobody else can seem to do in the same manner and in the same time frame. And knights are also the bringers of the tarot deck. When you think about the role of knights in the medieval world, they were always the ones who were sent out on missions and quests to find and retrieve a lost relic or slay a dragon or rescue a princess or something of that sort. And tended to be, their personalities tended to be very driven, very focused, very determined, very single-minded, and usually very honorable, and with a lot of personal integrity. And I see the Knight of Pentacles as kind of really a stand-up guy. This is really the kind of guy that you want to have, you know, at your back. Um, Now, this combination of cards, Libra, represent this is actually going to play out a couple of different ways, again, depending on which Librans are watching. For some of you, this combination of the Five of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles is actually going to represent a victory you have over this individual, over a situation, or perhaps, it could be, if this is a victory over a specific person that you have had some kind of ongoing battle or some kind of back and forth contentious strife, just fighting back and forth, again, because I get this feeling that this situation has been something that's been long standing, gone on for quite a while. And the Knight of Pentacles personality would be somebody who could hold a grudge or really keep fighting for quite a long time, because that's his nature. He's very rooted. He holds on to things for a really long period of time. And this could represent things finally coming to a head and achieving some kind of victory over this person. Now, this person, the Knight of Pentacles, is not coming up as reverse. So the feeling that I'm not getting the feeling that, this is the Knight of Pentacles and all of his lovely qualities are actually on the opposite end of the spectrum negatively. But there's something to do, I feel like whoever this person is, for those of you for whom this resonates as an actual individual in your life, I feel like it's just somebody who you guys got involved in an issue, you couldn't see eye to eye, and this Knight of Pentacles just really dug his heels in as earth signs would tend to do. He doesn't necessarily have to be an earth sign, just that this individual, male or female, would manifest the character traits of the Knight of Pentacles. If he was an earth sign, it could be a Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. But it's something comes to a head and you finally achieve some kind of victory, or if it's a point of view you're trying to get him to see, you finally have a breakthrough and there's a meeting of the minds. But in whatever case, you're ending up the victor in this situation or in this relationship, even though it really has cost you a bit, and there is some question as to whether or not it has been worth it. For others of you, this may resonate as an actual financial situation that you achieve victory over. That's something there's been some kind of financial struggle, some kind of financial hardship, a job or a lack of job or something of that sort that you've struggled with. Again, I feel like this is a long-standing issue. You've been struggling for quite some time, and then you're brought something, Knights being the bringers of the tarot. You're brought some kind of gift, some kind of opportunity, something that's very tangible. It can represent maybe the gift of actual finances or resources or somebody's time or feedback or wisdom or experience or something like that, but you're brought something that helps you achieve a victory over something, and it's something tangible. Again, it doesn't necessarily have to manifest a job or career or like a love relationship. It's not clear to me right now what the situation, what the actual content is, but it is a Pentacles card, so the gift itself appears to be, and the help appears to be something fairly tangible, and it does represent you achieving a victory over something that you've been struggling with, or someone you've been struggling with, or a point of view you've been struggling with against. So after that, we have the Seven of Swords, followed by Temperance in reverse. So I'm getting kind of off this combination of cards, Libra. I'm getting I have just had it. I'm done. I am not doing this anymore. This is not happening anymore. You're not getting away with this anymore. That's just a very distinct feeling, the thoughts that I have going on in my head. The Seven of Swords, again, that suit of our ideas, our thoughts, our logic, perspectives, how we look at things. The Seven of Swords is often actually referred to as the Thief card, because it obviously depicts a man who's, the implication being he's broken into somebody's house, he's taken a bunch of their swords, not everything, but a lot, and he's sneaking away with it, and he's looking back over his shoulder with this kind of sneaky, smarmy look on his face. And the implication being that he's getting away with something. He's taking something from you, or he's passing something off as his that's really yours, however the situation resonates for you. Again, sometimes the thief character gets a bad rap. This doesn't necessarily have to mean somebody is actually stealing something tangible from you, although it could be. The thief can also represent having to be very clever about how you go about solving a situation or dealing with someone. It can mean having to think kind of outside the box and be kind of perhaps a little maneuvering or a little manipulative to do things. The thief, like I said, often gets a bad rap. The character traits of the thief, when sometimes in order to achieve something or help people come together or see eye to eye, sometimes we have to be a little sneaky in how we go about maneuvering things or how we go about collecting information, not in a harmful or negative way. We don't want to put forth any bad karma out there, but just kind of, having to kind of think outside the box a little bit. So this could represent having to be very clever about how you go about dealing with a situation or a person. But I actually feel like in this combination of cards with Temperance reversed, Libra, somewhere around this last half of February, maybe around now or the third week or so, again, I have this feeling that something comes to a head, the situation comes to a head, and you're tired. You're in a place where you feel like if you haven't been stolen from actually some kind of tangible property or money, you feel as somebody's passed something off as yours, perhaps ideas at work or something, or you just feel like somebody's been taking and taking and taking from you to the point where you just feel depleted and you are done. You are done and you don't want this to happen anymore, and you want to just blow the whole thing up. I mean, you just want to end it, walk away, blow this person's world up, blow the situation up, leave your job, whatever it is that this resonates for you, and I'm getting that very strongly. The Seven of Swords is accompanied by Temperance in reverse. So a major arcana card and a beautiful one. In the upright position, it represents, well, temperance, moderation, patience, balance, harmony, integration, wholeness. And in the reverse, I feel like you're just done with all of that. In regards to this situation, this relationship, this person, this job, this thing you've been struggling over, you finally achieved some kind of victory over it, and You are just done. You are done with feeling depleted, done feeling like you're being taken from over and over again. Or if you actually found out somebody's stealing, or forgiving them and giving them second chance and third chance, you're just done. You have no more temperance. There's no more patience left in you. You are just done with the situation. So if it's something, it feels like something came to a head or something's coming to a head, and you lose it somehow. You lost patience. It looks, again, I get the feeling that this is a long-standing situation for the larger portion of you. It's something that's been going on for a while, and you just snap. Whether it comes to a head or something else happens, or you find something else out, whatever it is, you're just like, I'm done. I'm done being taken from. I'm done. I'm done feeling depleted. I'm done being taken from. I have no more patience. I'm calling it good. I'm blowing the situation up. I'm done. And sometimes we have to do that. But just be careful not to get too ballistic or psychotic when you do it. So directly following that, we have the Page of Pentacles, followed by the, well, jumped right out of my hand, followed by the Tower card, which is not my favorite card in the deck. I'm sure it's not most people's favorite card in the deck, and I actually don't see it very often, but I occasionally do. So we have the Page of Pentacles, again, that earthly, tangible suit. And pages can represent actual young people or children in your life. And for some of you, this could perhaps represent this situation, or person could represent a young person in your life, somebody who's perhaps you've been fighting with for a long time. Perhaps it's a child, and maybe it's an adult child who's been taking advantage of you, or taking from you, or stealing from you somehow. This could, for some of you, resonate as that. For others of you, this is going to represent getting a message or messages about something tangible in your environment. It could be related back to this Knight of Pentacles, or whatever is being brought. If this represents, for those of you who represent somebody bringing you something that represents having a victory or something, and you receive messages in relation to that too, that has something to do with perhaps your money, your job, your resources, your finance, directly following the Seven of Swords and Temperance reverse. I have to think that it's more about finances somehow, job, career, it could be, or literally money. You find out somebody's stealing from you, or somebody has been stealing, or it happens yet for the 100th time. You receive messages about this somehow, and because pages can represent messages or messengers. When you think about pages in the medieval roles, they were sent out as runners to deliver messages, and I often read them that way in tarot spreads. And that Page of Pentacles is bringing in some kind of message or information about tangible assets or resources you have of some kind, whether it's money or a job or something like that. And it's just, again, following the Seven of Swords and Temperance reverse, it's just it's kind of like the last straw. Everything just kind of blows up. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, this could represent getting information in that just kind of makes it feels like your whole world blows up. Maybe you find out that someone you loved and trusted has taken advantage of you and has been taking from you or exploiting you in some way, and it just really, it's just really crushing. It blows up everything you thought that person was, everything you believed them to be in one fell swoop. You can see this unexpected bolt of lightning has just completely demolished this tower that this man was living in, his home that he thought was so stable and so secure and had such a great foundation. And he blasted him out of the window, and he's falling to the ground completely naked, which implies very strongly a high degree of vulnerability as well. So whatever this information is, or this thing that comes to a head, or this thing that you find out, somebody brings you some information, it's just going to, perhaps this is you just blowing everything up. You're like, I can't deal with this anymore. This can't continue anymore. I'm just getting this old feeling around it. And everything just kind of blows up. Whether it's you, the one that's doing the blowing up of everything, or somebody brings you just one last piece of information that just does it for you. You just say, I'm done. It's all done. It just blows the situation up, blows the relationship up, and it just feels like it's done. The funny thing is on this card, Libra, at least for you in this spread, is I'm actually feeling like it's not the tower coming in like somebody gets in a horrible car accident or your house burns down, or I don't feel like it's cataclysmic in that sense. I just feel like even if this information comes in, you weren't expecting it and it hurts you, it really just kind of blows your whole perception of a person or a situation up. And that's very challenging and painful. Or whether it's you that something happens, you get information and you just blow everything up. You say, I'm done, I'm burning the bridges, I'm done, I'm out of here. I get the feeling that even though this has a very profound and very significant impact, that it's not a hugely cataclysmic thing like, death, earthquake, flood, fire, destruction kind of thing. I feel like it's more related to a person or this situation around a person, and it does involve, and it looks like it can be quite emotionally challenging and perhaps even painful for some of you. Although I look at the tower as kind of a necessary evil. It feels more like you just end it going, I can't take this anymore. It's enough. It's been a nightmare. I am done. I don't care if the tower blows up. Because the tower represents God, spirit, divine, the universe, whatever your spiritual structure is, the fingers of the divine, as I like to call the major arcana. The tower represents that energy coming in and completely annihilating something that has to go. We're not talking about a renovation here or a rip down this and build up something else in its place. We're talking about a structure that's been around for a long time, that needs to go completely from the bottom up so that something new and something beautiful and something whole and healthy can be rebuilt in its place. And for some reason, we are unwilling or unable to do it ourselves. And so the universe at some point will come in and do it for us and just, that bolt of lightning out of the blue and just get rid of it. So for those of you for whom this is going to resonate, well, I think it's going to be challenging for everyone who deals with it. But I've had to deal with the tower in my life before. And the bright side of this tower is that it has to go and that it's going to be over with and something new and beautiful and much, much stronger and more real will be built up in its place. So that's a good thing. So don't be scared, Libra. You've got this. It'll be okay. I think you're just reaching a point where you're done. Now, at or towards the end of the month, we wrap up with the Four of Swords, excuse me, accompanied by the Magician card. It's a great way, actually, to wrap up February 2016. The Four of Swords, an understandable card in this position, considering the challenges that it looks like you're dealing with, or at least the majority of you are dealing with. The Four of Swords, again, that suit of our cerebrum up here, represents needing a break, needing a respite, taking a time out, taking a step back, getting rest, going within. You can see this man is girded for battle. He's laying down on his couch or his bed. There are three swords pointing down at him, and his own is lying close by his hand should he need it in a hurry. But for the time being, he's not engaged with it. For the time being, he's resting because he's exhausted. You can see he's wearing his armor, and whether he has just finished a battle or is taking a time out from a battle, he needs a break. And I always feel like this card is just accompanied by such a heavy sense of weariness because this man is so tired that he hasn't even bothered to take off his armor, and armor is heavy. I mean, he hasn't even bothered to take it off. He's just laying down. He's so tired. He's so beat. He feels, perhaps he feels defeated or a little, like, again, in this reading, just this long-standing sense, everything is coming to a head. I can't deal with it anymore. I want it done. And at the end of it, you're just tired. You feel like you need a break. Maybe for those of you who are able to get a little time away, even if it's just a few days, or find some way to carve out niches of time for yourself so that you can kind of begin to get over what this has been all about, process it, and begin to path to wholeness and healing and restoration for you. And that's going to require taking a time out, taking care of yourself, and resting because you're going to need it. It looks like this has just been going on for so long, and you're so tired that after it all blows up, you're really just going to need a break. You're going to need to step back for a while and take a break and get a much needed reprieve and go within. And the Four of Swords is accompanied by the Magician card, another major arcana card. I love this card. This is a card of you being in control, Libra. The Magician is a very clever individual. He's very independent, marches to the tune of his own drum. He sometimes doesn't work all that well with people sometimes because he has his own way of doing things. When he gets an idea in his head, he's off and running. Perceives himself very resourceful, very independent, because he has reached a point in his life after a long slog of life experiences, joys and sorrows and triumphs and defeats, trial and error. He's reached a point in his life where he has all the tools he needs, all the experience, all the wisdom with which to use those tools. He doesn't need anybody else's help anymore. He has everything he needs to create whatever he wants, fix whatever he wants, build whatever he wants, and manifest whatever he wants. This is somebody who has taken all of his life experiences and made them benefit him. He has made himself smarter, wiser. Uh, he sees the path a little clearer. He's used the accumulation of all his life experiences so far to aid him that he's got it all covered. So Libra, at or towards the end of this month, February 2016, it looks like it's been a real challenge, a real slog. It leaves you feeling very, very tired, but also the magician tells us that you've got this. Take your rest, take your time out, and take care of yourself. You have the ability to begin to rebuild and manifest the kind of destiny you really want and that you really deserve and that you really need at the end of the day. But make sure you take that rest first. Now, your crowning cards, you actually got two popped out, both major arcana cards, and that makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these cards are major arcana. Again, significant, profound ending of February for the majority of the signs so far. So your crowning card, general theme and feeling over this whole situation, Libra. We have the Hermit and the Fool. Great cards to have. The Hermit speaks of, again, it's similar to the Magician. I almost look at it as an older version of the Magician. The Hermit speaks of using your experience, using the wisdom and insight and clarity you've gotten on this long road of experience, and using the wisdom part of it to aid you in finding your way through something and across something, i.e., this situation. Um, at least here in America, we often look at older people as having a little more wisdom and insight than we do because we figure they've walked a longer road of life so far and they've been able to have more time to garner more experience. And the light of the lantern he's using to guide himself by represents that life experience, that wisdom and insight and clarity. It's a great accompaniment to the magician. The magician also has used a lifetime of experience. He has the tools and the knowledge and the cleverness. He's all about that. And the hermit is more about using, the actual wisdom and insight and, you know, the compassion and the zenness of his life experiences to help aid him. So it's a great combination as well. And it's accompanied by the Fool card. At the end of the day, after this is all over, Libra, you're going to be experiencing a new beginning. I love the Fool card. It's my favorite card in the deck. It's the 0. It represents the beginning of the beginning. It represents the breath before the first step. It represents the carpe diem of enjoying the journey rather than being so goal oriented and focused on the destination. Now, the Fool does have a destination. He sets it and then doesn't worry about it because he figures he'll get there in the time and manner and speed at which he's supposed to. He's all about stopping to smell the roses, enjoying the little things and the big things, enjoying every step of the journey. This is a reminder, Libra, and a piece of advice that when you begin this new beginning again, take your time, enjoy the steps of the journey. Don't be so goal oriented and so destination focused. Um, enjoy every step of the way. Stop and smell the roses. Again, there's always some planning that needs to be done. We don't want to do the opposite negative end of the spectrum of the Fool. Make sure there's water in the pool before you jump in it because the Fool doesn't always necessarily look before he jumps. And he probably doesn't even know if he has enough socks packed for this journey. He's just excited to go. He has that childlike faith and wonder and confidence and exuberance that everything is going to work out just fine. He's going to just keep heading in the general direction, and he's really going to take joy in the journey. So going through all of this may be a bit of a struggle and a challenge, maybe even painful for some of you, Libra. But at the end of the day, you have it covered. Make sure to take care of yourself, to rest, put yourself back on the path of wholeness and healing, forgiveness perhaps. You have everything you need to rebuild yourself and make it better and real and solid this time. Use all your life experiences. Use all your cleverness, all your tools, all your wisdom, and your own self-compassion to put yourself on this beautiful new road of beginnings again. So Libra, what a powerful, powerful reading. Again, yet another reading and a string of them so far that speaks of the end of February being so profound and so significant and impactful for people. I hope you've enjoyed this reading, and I hope it has at least brought you some insight and clarity and a little food for thought on the path that lies ahead. And again, if any of you are interested in a personal reading, you can click on the About sign on my channel's homepage to get some more information, or just email me at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com, and we'll see what March 2016 looks like for the next set of general readings. And as I always say, Libra, and I mean every word of it, until I see you again, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Thanks for watching, Libra, and I'll see you later.